Baba Sri Chand Ji. Maharaj Baba Sri Chand Ji was a great Udasi saint, eldest son as well as the disciple of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Baba Sri Chand Ji was highly respected by kings, saints, yogis, Sikh gurus and the common people of all sects and religions. Babaji devoted his long life, 149 years, to meditation, preaching Naam and to moral, spiritual and religious uplift of society, helping the poor, the downtrodden and those in need. As directed by his father and master, Baba Sri Chand Ji played a unique role of setting the Sadhu Samaj on the right path. Babaji was born on Badon Sudi 9 of Samvat 1551, 1494 AD, in Sultanpur Lodhi district, Kapurthala, Punjab. There were several highly unusual circumstances surrounding his birth. Instead of crying, he emerged laughing. The room was filled with light and fragrance. A thin layer of ashes covered his body and the small curly knots of his hair were shining brightly. His right earlobe was extended in a ring of flesh, leaving no doubt that he was a born yogi. Baba Sri Chand Ji was a renunciate, self-denying, celibate and dedicated to meditation. Baba Sri Chand had an extensive and dedicated following. His guidance was revered by the first 6 Sikh gurus. Although his followers numbered in millions, he encouraged them to be devotees of Guru Nanak rather than of himself. He was not married but took the responsibility of his brother's son, Dham Chand, and arranged the marriage of the boy. Guru Nanak Dev Ji started Babaji's training at a very early age, mostly by personal example. Thus, as a child he formed habits of rising early, bathing and spending long hours in meditation. He was told religious stories and sermons to which he listened attentively. Babaji did not play like other children of his age. On the other hand, he collected them and taught them meditation whenever they called upon him to play. There are several miracles associated with his childhood. For instance, once when people got anxious over the delay in his return from the jungle where he had gone, a search party was organized. It found, to its great surprise, Babaji in deep meditation surrounded by wild animals of all sorts such as elephants, tigers and leopards. All were sitting at his feet motionless, perfectly silent, with eyes closed, enamored by his mystical powers and in service of their master. To complement his spiritual education, Guru Nanak Dev Ji sent Babaji in Srinagar for 2.5 years into a famous school of Pandit Purushottam Das Kaul. He was the best student and surprised everybody with his intelligence, maturity and perspicacity. For example, when his teacher was challenged to a debate by a well-known and proud Brahmin of Kashi, Pandit Somnath Tripathi, Babaji stepped in place of his teacher and in 6 times demolished the arguments of Pandit Somnath, who felt so nervous that he left in a huff. Baba Sri Chand accepted the spiritual and temporal ethnicity of Sikhism. And, above all, not only he himself accepted the tenets of Sikhism, he along with his disciples, willingly proceeded towards the hill to flourish the universal message of the Sikh religion. In due course he became a Mahagurmukh, a Mahagursikh, a great protagonist of Sikhism. His missionary work has not only been blessed with appreciation by Guru Arjan Dev and Guru Hargobind Sahib, but also by almost all the Sikh scholars. Baba Sri Chand fully adopted his father's emphasis on meditation on the name of God. As Gurbani says, Nanak ki ghar keval naam. Baba Sri Chand continuously sat in Samadhi with the name of God. He did so much tapasya that God's gifts flowed through him. God's blessings poured forth from his merciful gaze. Baba Sri Chand wrote Arta to welcome his father on his return from travels. Arta, a hymn revealing that Guru Nanak is master of the whole cosmos. Baba Sri Chand placed emphasis on work as well as on meditation. Guru Nanak and Baba Sri Chand never recommended taking charity or collecting offers. Rather, they always emphasized, as Guru Nanak taught, "Khal khai kich hathan de, Nanak ra pachane se." Guru Nanak Dev Ji left Baba Sri Chand Ji in charge of Kartarpur during his later udasis, and following his final udasi bestowed the dress and duty of udasi, pilgrim, missionary, on Baba Sri Chand Ji himself. Thus, Baba Sri Chand Ji was given the responsibility of uniting the various sadhu samaj ascetic schools, and integrating them with the householders, devotees who led a worldly life. Throughout his life he helped householder and sadhu alike. One could say that Babaji himself was a householder, since he adopted and raised his nephew and arranged his marriage. Baba Sri Chand Ji's love and reverence for his father Guru Nanak Dev Ji cannot be stressed enough. And similarly, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's love for his elder son is something to be admired by all families. History has played a cruel trick on this relationship, often portraying Babaji as one passed over in the appointment as the Guru's successor, and therefore casting Babaji in conflict with the ensuing Gurus. Nothing could be further from the truth. And nowhere could a child's love be more apparent than in his hymn of praise for Guru Nanak, Arta, which he composed and had the whole Kartarpur Sangat sing to greet and welcome their great Guru home from his third Udasi. Baba Sri Chand Ji was renowned during his time as a great mystic, a figure of tremendous spiritual power and wisdom. In his practical life, he combined intense meditation with hard work among the people, in contrast to the Indian tradition by which ascetics withdrew from society. While recent history has at best obscured Baba Sri Chand Ji in the shadow of his father and Guru, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and the subsequent Sikh Gurus, history itself speaks to his greatness. A survey conducted during the reign of the Emperor Jahangir found that Baba Sri Chand Ji was the most influential saint in India as measured by his vast following. He was revered by people from all walks of life, including Sikh Gurus, many of whom even offered one of their sons to serve him. Baba Sri Chand Ji welcomed those from all religions, teaching that God's tree is large enough to give shelter to all. While his own life was a continuous miracle, he never called attention to himself. Rather, he and his followers spread the mission of his father in a universalistic way, through meditation on God's holy name, hard work and service to those in need. They kept the spiritual flame of truth alive during centuries of oppression. The most convincing argument about Baba Sri Chand Ji's greatness and love and respect that existed between him and the Gurus is a spiritual one. Anyone who has followed Baba Sri Chand Ji's example has become an ideal Sikh of Guru Nanak, dividing time between meditation, work and service. In 1643, when it was time for Babaji to leave the world, he marched towards the jungle on a nearby hill, bid goodbye to those following him, and in a twinkling of an eye disappeared. Babaji's body was never found. As many great beings before him, he comes and goes as he wishes and appears regularly to those who love him.